This is a shir for the Arukh HaShulchan OC, day 7. And today's Arukh HaShulchan is from Siman Gimel Siv Vav till Siman Gimel Siv Yud Gimel. Vav. The Gemara says one should not use potsherds or dry grass to wipe oneself after defecating. And somebody uses something which can be burnt by fire, something combustible, to wipe oneself. Shina vatachtonos noshros. The openings of the anus are somehow fall off or fall down. Nor should one use a stone which one's friend has already used. The nation may be a machlas tachtonios because it brings a person to some sort of stomach ailment, obviously connected to the anus. But if you reuse the stone that you used before, that's not a problem. For in time Chazal they use soft stones. And they used to bring in 3 stones in order to wipe themselves. One very small, to remove the excrement which was adhering to the opening of the anus. The second one somewhat larger, to wipe the place. And the third one even bigger, to completely clean that place and around that place. So the Gemara Shabbos Pei Aleph. This was all by them. Their bath where their laboratories were out in the field. Now we do use potsherds. We primarily use toilet paper today. Even though it is combustible, flammable, we cannot use anything else in our situation. Certainly not with flushing toilets. And once something has become Dashim Barabim, accepted by many people, even if it was considered sakana, a danger. Now we have the Prince of Shem, God watches the fools, which is our heter to go in cars. Became the Dashim Barabim because many people have become accustomed to doing this. Go out and see what the masses do. And furthermore, there was Manashas Chashul Kshafim. At the time of the Gemara, they were concerned about sorcery, witchcraft. But now sorcery and witchcraft are not so prevalent. Therefore, not concerned with them. Because the primary issue is with sorcery and witchcraft. Mishnah Berurah says that in terms of dry grass, we should be machmir even today, even though normally we're not concerned with sorcery and witchcraft. And he also wrote that which is, Mishnah Berurah also writes that which today potsherds of principle is obviously if they're smooth. Otherwise, we're afraid, and I assume this applies to dry grasses as well, that it's going to leave, it's going to cut through the flesh, the soft flesh of that place. Zayin. So, it was ready to explain that in Sif Gimel, that we don't wipe ourselves with the right hand, but rather with the left hand. Because with the right hand you eat and you write, and you use it to indicate what the Torah is about. When you show people, or I guess use the thumb. But tefillin, use it to tie your tefillin. And use it to it's the clue good to come close to your mouth. Because with your right hand you bring to your mouth anything we eat or drink. And above all else, the Torah is given by the right hand of God, obviously metaphorically. It says in from his right hand came the fire of our religion to us. Therefore, it is not its honor that it should be used to wipe. Bracha samach beis. Viter yad, a lefty like myself, shekol d'ravo sebesmo, does everything with his left hand. Yikanech b'yamino, should wipe with his right hand. Shizel b'smo shekol, because that is which is the left hand of relative to the other people. And even though according to the last reason we should not go after the lefty, because presumably HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the metaphor is a righty. By us lefties, it's the opposite. And this is what the Taz and Mogen Avraham paskin. If this lefty, there's certain things he does with everybody's right hand. I think there are things he does with his left hand. The Gedolim have various different distinctions which they made on this basis. In my opinion, if a person has, only a person is truly ambidextrous. In that case, the last reason that Torah gives the right hand of Hashem is determinative. He's used your left hand of every person. In that case, it's sufficient to determine. Some people distinguish between whether you use it to write or don't use it to write. He says that to me it seems like I wrote that it's only if it's truly ambidextrous that we follow the right hand of every person, every normal person, not the lefty right hand. Mr. Brewer has brought down here. He brings down both opinions and does not make the determination. Also, a woman has to be careful if she's a righty to wipe with the left hand. If she's a lefty, to wipe with the right hand. Because some of the reasons apply also to her. Some said right. She should not use the middle finger of the left hand. Because when you put on tefillin, you wrap the belt, the strap around there. But of course, if you can be careful about this, that's wonderful. But if we're not using this, when you don't use this finger, you gotta wipe yourself properly. You or wipe yourself the normal way, including the use of the middle finger. Test. In these bars, it's already been explained that news, even at night, one should go to the bathroom with modesty, just like during the day. That's in terms of modesty. You don't have to go that far away in those days when their bathrooms were out in the fields. And now you don't have to go as far away as during the day. You should know the clothes that all that we've talked about till now is for feces. But for urine, you can even urinate during the day, in front of people, anywhere, if necessary, because it's dangerous. If a person holds back the urine for an extended period, like I said, stop mandala. A woman should not stand in front of a child to urinate. Evidently, it was considered to be a lack of tznius. Though that's directly opposite him, but if it's not directly opposite him, it's not a problem. Yud. A person should not urinate standing up. The nation needs sotos and he does him because then drops fall on his legs. People will say that his genital organ is cut or is otherwise wounded. Because evidently it does not shoot out, but rather drips down. And that he is therefore impotent. People will say that his children are not his own. Unless he stands in a high place, the drops will not fall on his feet. Or urinate into soft ground. The guy can lick in his toes. There are no drops because the ground absorbs it. But I've got the mitzvah the shavshev and says, even though it's in that case it's a mitzvah to rub away the drops. Nevertheless, there's some of them, very often there's so many drops it doesn't help to wipe them away. If you can't urinate from a high place and also not into soft dirt, you can urinate normally, but he should assist himself by the testicles, to pick up the limb to a certain extent, the genitals, that the urine should go to a distance. In that case, a little bit, which is the falls on his legs, he can wipe away. There's obviously not so much to wipe away in those cases. These are hairs, the person should be careful not to hold onto the organ itself, lashtin, in order to urinate, unless it is below the crown, the tip of the organ. Because he can come to inadvertently have an emission. Unless he's married, and therefore he doesn't get aroused so easily since he has a wife with whom he can be intimate. It's a measure of piety to be careful, even when is married, not to directly hold onto the organ. But to use to lift by the testicles is permitted according to everybody. If he was married, person he's only permitted to hold on to the organ to urinate, not to rub. But by with a thick garment, it's permissible because it's not going to arouse him. If somebody waits to go to the bathroom when they must go to the bathroom, over to transgresses the prohibition of making oneself repugnant. And if you wait to urinate, he also transgresses the prohibition not to cause oneself, not to cause one to be impotent. But until you find a proper place to urinate or to defecate, it's not a problem. It's not considered to be a prohibition. Somebody who refrains from passing gas, even if they feel the need to do so, does not transgress anything. Especially be very careful to wipe the anus carefully, because if there is excrement remaining there, a person is not allowed to read Shema. These brought up as will be explained later on. Yudalf, Karsim Brachos says in Mesechus Brachos, and if Nebuda, somebody who goes to the bathroom in Yehuda, lo even achorav lemizrach, panav lemarav, he should not go to the bath, defecate with his back facing the west and his face facing the east. Nor vice versa. Rather north and south. Because Yerushalayim is in Yehuda. Yehuda mina mizrach lemarav barach Eretz Yisrael, and Yehuda is generally east to west in Eretz Yisrael. The in the Galil it's the opposite. So follow the Daram Asur because the Shalim is in the south. Mizrach Umar Mutzah east to west is okay. The Galil B'Tzvon Eretz Yisrael because the Galil is the northern part of Israel. Shifna Ben Tzafel Daram Yeknei Yerushalayim. In that place, if you would go north south, it would be opposite Yerushalayim. Rabbi Yossi Matir. Rabbi Yossi permits your going to the bathroom either way. Either permits going to the bathroom either way when there's no Beis HaMikdash. Kiva said b'chomakom. Kiva forbids it everywhere. I feel b'chutz la'aretz. Lifnos mitzvah l'marav to go to the bathroom east-west. Paska Rabbi Kiva Mneisha Rabba also came to Gemara Ayin Shom. The poskim paskin like Rabbi Akiva obviously is talking a place when the person is not in one of our bathrooms inside our houses, but a person has a choice. Your base. The Torah elaborates. When a person is standing, when he sits down, it should be east, north, south, or vice versa. But not east, west. So that's only when you go to the bathroom place which is open. By a place where there are walls, such as in the bathroom in your house. Answer the doctor, you don't have to be meticulous about this. This is what it says. Prohibition is only a place which is revealed, which is open. Specifically talking about places there's no wall. And even one wall seems to suffice, as long as the wall is behind him. The average two roads, such as a bathroom in the house, he's not wasn't concerned to explain at length. But his primary intent is the prohibition is only when you sit revealed from all sides, like in an open area or in a field, which is surrounded by walls. Mutter is permissible. The Mishnah Berurah brings down that there are opinions that even in a chotzer, it's forbidden to go east-west unless one brings oneself close to one of the walls. Although the Arukh HaShulchan says the chotzer is sufficient, the wall of the city is not sufficient. Because you cannot see those walls. The Torah does not distinguish between the geographical locations of the countries, whether they're north and south of Eretz Yisrael or east and west of Eretz Yisrael. The Torah holds that Rabbi Akiva forbade east west everywhere, and he permits north south everywhere. Because the prohibition, because the divine presence is in the west, and of course in the Beis Hamikdash, but we extrapolate for that to give more respect to east-west. Rambam says a similar thing, but he writes because the Heichal, the Kodesh Kadoshim, the Beis Hamikdash, was in the west, Ein Sham. Rambam does not mention the leniency through walls. So the Shashlon and Mechalik was that. Holds that's only Yerushalmi, not a Bavli. But the Beis Yosef Sifei Posach Katur Ein Sham, but the Beis Yosef Paskins like the tour. B'yesh Roshim Gam Achrav L'Doro. Some people say you should not have your backside to the south when that is the direction of Eretz Yisrael. Adafka B'Achrav L'Tzafa Mutar only when your backside is to the north. That's Mutar. Kol Paiskim Momash B'Kein. For the Paiskim doesn't seem the way Ella the Ein Kapeda, but rather that one does not need to be concerned. Mishnah Berurah does right that your face should be southwards and your backside northwards, and some people say not to reverse that, and it's best not to reverse that. So he's a little bit more machmir. V'chein Rabbeinu Ramah b'Sifra Darkei Moshe. So the Ramah in the Darkei Moshe wants to sustain and argue the Medina Selma and Dom Eretz Yisrael having Gali, that countries which are in north and south of Eretz Yisrael, they're like the Gali, where the north and south are the problem. But the Torah doesn't mention this. Why? Because all the places inhabited by the Jews at the time of the Torah were to the west of Eretz Yisrael. Although I'm not sure why he says that. I guess the places where the Torah, which the Torah is addressing, because obviously Bafel is to the east of Eretz Yisrael, but the Torah perhaps was addressing his work to people in Spain and the environs where he lived. But Shulchan doesn't mention this, and that's proper. Because Rambam also obviously holds not to go north-south is better than east-west, even though Mitzrayim is south of Eretz Yisrael, although it's not precisely south. Now, to urinate, there's no, you do it in any direction. For Rakim Yatzon, only if you're inside of Mount Scopus. In the place, in the area we can see the Beis Hamikdash, you should not urinate towards the Kodesh, but rather north or south. Somehow the Kodesh should be on his side. The Mishnah Berurah brings down in Paragraph that even if you're beyond Mount Scopus, you cannot see the Makom Mikdash. You should avoid urinating towards the Makom Mikdash. Yud Gimel. The Rambam Rishon Chassid the Gam Lishan Osam and Mizrach Marav, when it was also not allowed to sleep between east and west, and Mitzvah Dam rather between north and south, Ayin Sham. That's why it says because it says in Brachas, And Rebbeis Kol Yamai Yisi Mitzar Binyamin Atzadik was all his whole life was in anguish on several things. And his bed should be north south. On no saying Mitasim and South and Doron, so he puts his bed in north south. Haimle Bonim Schorim has conceives male children. But Tur lo is Kirza. Tur doesn't mention this. This is only a special measure of diligence, which doesn't apply to most people. Tosus and Tosus writes only if his wife is with him. I jump. Rambam avoid that feel bad also. For the Rambam seems even when one is on one's own, one's bed should be north south and not east west. Rabbi says that it's when one's wife is with one. Kasav Shenochli is a Rambam, but one should be meticulous like the Rambam. We are not meticulous about this. And we take the position of the Tur lehalacha. And that's who doesn't mention any parameters of the bed. And besides which, there's a big machlokas. What does it mean it should north and south? Does it mean that its head and feet are north-south? Or the width of the bed is north-south. And therefore this entire halacha falls into the pits because it's not clear how to keep it. The Mishnah Bura says that he does determine it. He says the head of the bed should be the north and the feet to the south. And he brings down from the Ramah Mifano, from the Zohar Parshas Bamidbar, that the head of the feet of the bed should be actually south, east and west. And then he says that the head should be the west, and that the Artzos HaChaim wrote this. Nevertheless, it's best to do like the Shulchan Aruch, that because the Zohar says that the Zohar is also like the Gemara, not like the Mamifano, with the head of the bed to the north and the foot of the bed to the south. In the brackets at the end of the Siman, the Arukh HaShulchan brings down from the Magen Avraham and the Bush, walls don't help here because that's not obvious how the walls correlate with the bed. And the Arukh HaShulchan says on you is daiti ain't tzarich lezeh. You don't have to come on to this. Rambam, because the Shulchan Aruch learns like the Rambam, and the Rambam even in the bathroom, the mechitzas are not effective.